Do you have any plan on how to go over the bump?
We did that earlier, the swerve.
Shrink the driver.
Yeah. So one of the things that we were thinking about is the fact that a larger drive base has a harder time breaking over the bump, so it has more like likelihood to get beached on top of the bump. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shrink down the drive base, but we were able to get over it earlier on.
Yeah, if you go fast, you can get over it, but it's probably good to have some sort of failsafe to keep from like getting snagged. Because if you're snagged, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the faster you go, the more likely you are to get damaged by actually jumping over.
Yeah. Having a smooth bottom of the robot is probably going to be helpful as well. And then like people are talking about adding just like a caster wheel on the bottom, which is a possibility if you want to be like super sure you won't get stuck. But
That's something to work on.
yeah, it's.
Yeah.
And there was an additional question. If we are going to go over the bump, how do you plan on storing enough balls to maximize your scoring during the 30-second allotment?
Wait, can you repeat that middle part?
Yeah, if you're going over the bump, how do you plan on storing enough balls to maximize your scoring during the 30-second allotment?
So, like, would they bounce out or something, I guess is the question.
I suppose.
Yeah, I guess.
We talked a bit about this, the possibility of balls bouncing out of the hopper. We want to test that empirically, like strap something to the robot and see if balls are likely to fly out while going over the bump and things like that.
And one of the ideas that was brought up was actually tilting in the tops of the hopper to where the balls they can go in through the center, but they have trouble going out from the edges because if they hit the edges, they would be reflected back inwards.
Yeah, something that was brought up earlier is that unlike 2017, like intaking from, unless we want to intake from the player station, there's not as much of a necessity to like intake through the top of the hopper, so we can put that kind of a taper on it.
There was another question. What did we decide on our indexer?
On the indexer, that's what we're currently working on.
We're
So
currently prototyping, yeah.
this is the large capacity style, and the roundabout conveyor belt
Yeah,
indexer is currently being worked on over there.
Yeah.
We just tested this one, and we were able to fit 14 with probably like double the room still remaining.
yeah.
So we could probably get, on a good day, we could probably get 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's promising, yeah. And we'll see what the capacity looks like over there. The more I think about this game, the more convinced I am that capacity is a really, really big thing. Like it would be really helpful because I would imagine that it doesn't actually take that long to intake and fill a hopper. But if you're chasing around trying to find balls during your scoring period, you're just sort of losing time. So I'd imagine like any way that you can find to maximize storage is probably going to be a good bet. Yeah.
And this is something that was brought up. Oh, that's the one.
You guys can continue to talk. I'm switching out to a better source.
Yeah, something that we were talking about earlier is the traversal time too. Because in order to, there's a lot to talk about with traversal, but since you only have those 25 seconds to actually score, during the other 25 seconds you can like actually go out, defend, and load up your capacity as much as possible. Because you don't want to spend that scoring time traversing. The more you traverse during that scoring time, the worse it's going to be for you, like point-wise. So the more capacity you can have, and the faster you can shoot, are going to be your two main things.
Yeah.
And our real main problem that we need to work out is shooting speed versus traversal speed.
Maybe traveling speed might be the word.
Traveling speed.
Traversal, yeah. 2022 with the climb.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling speed.
Traveling speed. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Another question: are we considering using pneumatics?
We don't have any pneumatic components.
Well, like the pneumatics are potentially useful for a deployable intake, and there was the idea brought up earlier of like an extendable intake, but we're considering yeah. There's a lot of options for OTB intakes that we'll probably settle on OTB intake that don't involve pneumatics. So it just depends. Do we even have pneumatic components?
We don't.
Okay, we're not doing pneumatics. Great.
So personally, this team will not be doing pneumatics. They are viable. Of course, there's always the problems with the space they take up on your robot.
Yeah.
When this is really a space-saving game.
True.
So,
True. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Have we considered doing any thought into a rectangular robot?
Into what?
A rectangular robot.
Yes, we have thought about that. We have thought about that. There were thoughts about maximizing capacity in some way using a rectangle and some sort of extension of the frame.
Okay.
But yeah, like in terms of packaging considerations and that sort of thing, like ultimately, if you want to maximize volume within the frame perimeter, you go with the square. That's how you maximize volume within that perimeter. So I think we're mostly settled on a square for now.
Yeah. The only benefits that we were talking about of a rectangle would be a wider intake, potentially, and shifting your like actual center of mass for climbing. But it's really, we're not going that deep into that right now.
Yeah. Mostly we're playing a volume game a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we considered a turret shooter?
We've asked this before.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we've considered it, and it's one of those things where it's like, maybe it would be something to consider if we had more time and the equipment for it. But this isn't Ri3D, and we're probably not building a turret in 3 days.
And we also don't have vision.
Yeah, we also don't have vision.
Yeah, so a turret is great for if you have vision on the turret. We do not have any limelight, any other camera source to use.
So,
but
for right now, no, yeah. Aligning, if you have a fixed angle shooter, it's still very possible. Like, we're going with pretty simple fixed angle. You could do hood positions, but like, we don't think we even need to because the scoring zone is fairly small. And you don't necessarily need to like you can just sort of park somewhere and just spam balls into the shooter. Yeah. You don't necessarily need to like drive around and be swerving like that.
Yeah, 4 years ago, I did like 3 years before I came.
Anyway, my favorite ideas were still the things I would like to see teams try that are not Ri3D like feasible,
Possible,
but
yeah.
are still funny. Is a pressure compactor for the balls. They're solid cells, so I don't know how viable this would be, but I was thinking it'd be funny if there's a pressure chamber that you could use to like compress the balls more, so you could pack more of them in. And there have been thoughts going around about like vacuums and leaf blowers and like. But yes.
That could be fun.
Because there's no limit on how many balls you can control at once. So theoretically, if you just got a giant, extremely strong vacuum, you could just like
go back to Crescendo with all the leaf blowers opening the traps.
Exactly.
But just, teams probably have those left over.
Reverse it. Use the vacuum. You know, just suck all the balls up. Because there really is no limit. So. That would make a good passing ball mechanism. Now that I think about it, just strap a leaf blower on your robot.
Someone is really stressing to us that we need to have as much fuel as possible without loss, or else we're not going to be a good robot. How do you reassure them that this prototype will have the highest score possible?
We have mentioned that one of our goals is to maximize fuel in the robot, so that's what we're prototyping towards.
Yeah, I think the main worries that they have is like losing fuel, I suppose. But
Losing fuel. But like we're gonna look into lidding or tapering the top of the hopper to prevent against that because we're mainly gonna be an OTB intake.
Yeah. And we still want to be able to take in from the driver's station. It's something that it would be nice.
It would be nice, but yeah, it's like not something that needs like. Yeah. We don't necessarily need like the whole top of the robot. Yeah.
Just in case there's always like an intake failure on your robot, it's always good to like have a second way. Because that was a good thing again for Crescendo was if you had a floor intake, great. But you could also use the player, like the higher intake, to pick up everything.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's just a matter of what's most useful for your team.
Man, if only we could source a vacuum in 3 days.
I've made a vacuum in 3 days.
Screw the robot, just make a giant vacuum.
Like, it's doable.
Find one and start a loading docks.
Like, all you need is the fan blade.
True.
Like, you just take the blade out, you just make something.
You should make a giant vacuum.
Take up the entire.
Yes. I do like Fatima's idea of an intake that stores balls in it, which I was talking about for a while as well. Like, that could help add more. Because, like I said, I am thinking that even a little more volume gives you a lot more ball storage, and a couple more balls actually gives you a lot more scoring capacity per round.
We could make that possible if we just, for the intake, instead of feeding directly in, we could go up, then feed over?
Yeah, like that kind of thing. Like, I think I was throwing that around for a while. I was like, you can extend out as much as 12 inches, so you could actually fit a good number of balls there.
So if we like start here and then extend.
Yeah.
So
I think our intake should be able to store balls.
Yeah, if we go with this route, I think we have a lot of storage space.
Yeah, because the maximal storage space, like I said, I did the calculus for this. Theoretically, it would be a rectangular robot, and you just like have as much ball storage in your intake as possible. For now we're settling with square just for like some feasibility things. But like you can, if you utilize your intake to store balls, you can increase the number that you can store in your robot, and that's like really the only thing capping you. So yeah.
Cubic centered or face centered cubic.
BCC, yeah.
Yeah, this is a 3091 chemistry problem right here.
It's a face centered cubic robot.
Yeah.
Come up with a molecule name for it. Yes.
All right, any other questions over there? Good.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah, it's the packing diagram, the crystal structure.
It's over now. It's gone. Yeah.
Would you like a face-centered cubic
It
package?
seems like they're more, I guess they're not concerned about like fuel coming out, but like that it catches the fuel. I don't know, they're talking about accuracy.
Oh.
Are they talking about shooting accuracy or intaking accuracy?
I think we're still talking about the intake.
For intaking accuracy, it's pretty simple. It's just the like over the bumper intake.
And then like we can put centering in the neck and wheels.
Because they might be thinking that we're doing exclusively drop-in.
Oh, we're not doing drop.
But no, like the drop-in is only to like increase the size that we have here and also be able to take from the driver's station. But if that's like considered to be a problem eventually, we can just cover that up and be exclusively floor intake. So like it's completely fine. Nothing will be. It will be pretty fast to intake.
Over the bumper is full. And volume is really a problem on these robots. Like you really don't get a lot of space. Packaging, every amount of space you package for an over the bumper intake is space you lose in your hopper. So it's like it's a weird trade-off, yeah.
Have you done FTC?
No.
Oh, do you want to see the FTC packaging I had to do?
This is a nightmare.
I'd imagine.
Oh, it was
Okay. They like it seems that they're saying that they're asking this because they want to convince.
Who is this?
I want to look at this annotation.
Yeah, I want to look at this exchange.
They wrote, quote unquote, I'm trying to figure out if I should keep trying to convince my team to go over the bump.
Oh.
My whole team wants to do a small ball capacity and go through the trench. I think it's a bad idea.
You can
That's what
you
they
can
wrote.
do a large ball capacity and still go through the trench. Because like this current, where's the tape measure at? Can you hold that down to the floor? Yeah. Right, take that.
Well, it wouldn't maximize your ball capacity, but like, so under trench you would be at what, 20 inches?
22 inches.
22.
So-
yeah, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Because you can go all the way up to 30.
So with this robot, or with this model being about 18 inches tall right now, this could go under the trench very easily.
That's true. It's still a decent, well, you still have to account for bumpers and wheels, but yeah, like that's a decent amount of balls. I do think that like I this is just my guess, but I would guess that collecting rounds, you want to collect as much as you can so you can spam shoot during the scoring round. So I would imagine that having a large ball capacity is good, because if you run out of balls to shoot during the scoring round, then you're just sort of having to drive around and look for more, and then there's other teams that can play defense on you or like steal your balls and things like that. So I would imagine that having a large capacity will be helpful.
Yeah, this is not a low capacity game, and it's
Yeah.
not a traveling
Yeah.
back and forth during the phases game.
It's also, we talked about it and we don't think that the ramps will become a choke point. Like, they are wide enough that even if a robot was to play defense on one of them, like, unless they have both robots defending both ramps, it's unlikely that there will not be a ramp passage. And especially if people are doing things like passing strategies, it's not necessarily true that it will become like utterly necessary to go into the trench. So it's a trade-off. Obviously, you're sacrificing volume, and it's worth thinking about like how often will it be that you have to go into the trench. Like I think for our decision we said like we don't think it's necessary that you have to.
We're planning. Sorry.
Only half the information. You guys talked about the possibility of defense.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking
Yeah, like defense on the ramps in the trench. Yeah, the ramps are wide enough that if a robot was to defend one, if it was good defense, like they could probably shut down one ramp.
Yes.
I find it somewhat unlikely that a team would put both on defending the ramps, because usually when you're, at least I would imagine, when you're collecting balls is going to be the other team's scoring period.
Yeah, so there's only those 25 seconds that they have.
Yeah.
So I imagine what they'll do is they'll defend in the first maybe 10, 15 segens, maybe less than that. And then they'll go on the defense.
Yeah, or they could have like
Or
one
someone.
robot play defense and two robots score or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it's a weird trade-off, but I find it unlikely that like during the period where you're supposed to be collecting balls, that the other team would be just shutting down the ramp and spending two robots on that.
Yeah. So if you're trying to convince your team to go high capacity, I think that's good. But keep in mind that you can do that while also under the trench.
Yeah, but also keep in mind that it's not really that necessary to go
Yeah,
to the
you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's very possible to go over,
Yeah.
as we have seen. We did it with an oversized robot, and it was still
Yeah.
doable.
Question about and I want to ask her.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay, final question, and then I'll let you guys put up that. Do you think we should put bungee cords on the top to make it so that lemons don't fall out of the ramp? I love
On the
lemons.
top.
That's a crazy term.
Well, they used that term in 2020 as well, I think. Wait, we were talking about putting some sort of top on the hopper because we do think that they could fly out while you're moving. We want to test it. Like, we want to test how fast you have to move to get them to fly out. But if you've got it stuffed pretty full, then I would imagine, like, yes. The thing about bungee cord is it's a little bit unpredictable, and there is a pretty strict height limit, right?
Yes.
So if you are above like 30 inches, you could lose points for like that kind of thing. So like you may want to think about a more strict top to your robot in terms of like, wait, are game elements considered extending beyond the height limit?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but the bungee cord would be.
The bungee, yeah.
So you may want to consider that. Yeah.
I don't imagine that you'll have too many problems. I won't say that yet.
If your robot is like close to max height, that could become a
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's something to test with. You can come back later and we can figure that out. And
Well, we also want to test like methods of topping the hopper and things like that.
yeah, but
We'll get to work.